Hi everybody, welcome to 2OG's Hooking and Stitching Island Style. I'm Antoinette, your host for today's podcast. Welcome to all returning subscribers, new subscribers, and if this is your first time here, welcome. If you like what you see, feel free to subscribe. If you click the bell, you'll get notification when I upload a video. This is a channel about knitting, crocheting, Tunisian, tutorials, giveaways, yarn hauls, not so much lately, various trips around the island on the ferry, and we have chit chats now and then, finished objects, works in progress, and so on, and whatever else seems to be on the menu for the day. So today's video, couple things. I got some Happy Mail, and we are going to talk about the topsyturvytristitchalong, as this is going to be the first week, and I'm going to be doing videos. I have already started the first 3 stitches, the first installment, and I will be having to do some tutorials, which you'll have to bear with me. You know I don't edit, so it is what it is. Update on the pool, we're getting a new liner, so before summer's over we may be able to use it and get in the pool. So other than that, up till now it's just been a foot soak. So what do I have in the way of Happy Mail? Well, no yarn. It's a book I ordered. It's called the Crochet Every Way Stitch Dictionary. Hannah from the Cozy Cottage podcast is where I saw this book at, and as she was showing it, I thought it's a great book, especially if you like to design. It's by Dora Orenstein, and it's 125 essential stitches to crochet in 3 ways, and a lot of it has to do with shaping. It gives you charts, it gives you written, but if you look at it, oops, you can see how it gives you the increases and decreases you need for shaping, which is particularly good for if you're designing garments. And you all know I'm trying to get into the designing process. It's not a fast thing, it's a process, but I got this off from the bookoutlet.ca. With shipping and everything, I think it was $18. Wasn't a bad price, and it's very detailed, like this one here. This is the pineapple columns, and then over here it'll show you the written, and it's also charted. So I think this is going to be great in the designing process. It'll be really helpful, and very, I mean, it's got mesh stitch in it, fillet stitches, it's got floating rib, bobbles, increasing with bobbles, which is a difficult one to figure out increases and decreases if you look. So that was my Happy Mail. The other thing is I picked up some crochet magazines today. Excuse me. The first one is the Crochet World Joy of Thread, and you're saying, oh, you don't like to use them small hooks. No, not necessarily, I don't, but there's nothing to say you can't use a number 1 or a lace weight instead of crochet thread to make some of these items. This is it says display until July 5th. Our magazines are always late. In other words, here's one here, the Mile a Minute Baby Afghan. And of course this one on the front is what attracted me to it, the motifs. So it's got a bunch of different, it has a garden trellis tablecloth, and that will be done in crochet thread. Who knows, down the line I may dabble in a crochet thread, who knows. But it's got a country baby quilt. It's combining quilting with a crochet applique. So that was one magazine I got. The next one I got is Annie's Crochet in a Weekend, 40 plus projects. And this one is the summer fall, and you display it till October 4th. That's the Annie's crochet projects the weekend. And it's got some, like it's got stuff for all kind of the holidays. And there's a turkey door hanger. It's got a bunch of blankets, you know, Afghans. It's even got, which I'm excited about, it's a Tunisian kitchen set. So, and it's got that rug, which is made by holding, now they use number 4 acrylic, holding 4 together, so not too bad. And they got some pillows, and they have some slippers. I said they got a lot of Afghans in here this month. This one here. Whoops. There we go. It's kind of, this webcam, I still have trouble getting things to go right into the camera. It's got a hat and scarf set, a beret, boot toppers. It's got a few things for babies, a poncho, and some baby cardies. So, that's the other one I got. And the last one I got is Crochet World. And this is the August 2021, and it's called Moving into Fall, Pieces for Every Room. Now, the theme I think these all have are pretty much home decor. I mean, there are some garments and stuff in there, but these are the items that are in for this month. So you can see some Afghans, some motifs. There's over here, there's a vest. There's a pocket shawl, some pillows, a cowl, coasters, some beautiful Afghans, and there's this one in here in particular I'm going to put on my queue because I really think it'll be pretty, and it's called Celtic Cables, I believe. It's called, yeah, the Celtic Cables, and they list it as a 4 out of 6 difficulty level, so looks like fun. And another Afghan, and it's got a couple pillows, so looking forward to sitting down, looking at them. Got some baskets and a couple amigurumis, so I'm looking forward to sitting down with these. So I'm just going to get these out of the way because I have the books for the topsyturvytristitchalong. Now I got, hold on, I had to get a sip of coffee. I put up a quick short video while I was over on the mainland this morning, just giving you a heads up what was coming today. I did complete the first block, but I thought we would talk about what we're going to need for the stitch along. Now, yarn choice, that's your yarn choice. Number 3, number 4 will be fine. There's no gauge to this. We'll go over, like when we're doing a stitch, we'll go over the multiple, and you're going to be needing, because we're doing Tunisian crochet and knitting. Now, if you don't have knitting needles or a Tunisian crochet hook, you're going to be able to use a regular crochet hook, as long as it doesn't have the ergonomic handle, because you're going to need a long shaft for when you do put your stitches up on it for the Tunisian. So you can have dual purpose. Your crochet hook can be for both your Tunisian and your crochet. Now the crochet hook that I'm using for my crochet portion is a J 6mm. That's what I'm using. And then my Tunisian is the same size. It's one of my Denise interchangeables. I just put a short cable on it because that's all I need. And my knitting needles, I am using 6mm. So I'm using all 6mm. So pretty much, you know, the stitches will be close in size. And I just use a short cable. You can use straight needles for this. You don't have to invest in a set of, you know, circulars. I have these. You can go to your Walmart, your dollar store, and just get a set of straight needles. You don't have to use circular because we're not going to be knitting in the round. A pair of scissors and pencil and paper so you can keep track. And tapestry needle to weave in your ends. Now, I'm using, like I said, this would be a great scrap project. I just grabbed a couple of balls of yarn that I had from other projects I was doing. This is my Mega Ball. This is like a light 3 weight. I was using on another project, and then I had this cake that I had caked up, and it's a number 3 baby weight. And I have, I think, another dark blue I'm going to use for it, because I think what I'm going to do, and I'll show you why, is I'm going to do I'm doing the blocks, but how I'm doing the blocks is, and this is, you can do it the way I'm doing it, or you can do one block of each stitch. In other words, you can do a block of the Tunisian, a block of the crochet, and a block of the knitting, if that's the way you want to do your blocks. I am doing mine by the week. And you're saying, what do I mean by that? I have the first block done for the first week. Now, it's not blocked or anything because it needs it. But this is the first block. Okay, so we're going to be doing for the first week. The Tunisian is going to be the Tunisian simple stitch. And then I'm going to pick up stitches here, and I'm going to knit seed stitch, and I'm going to have a tutorial on how to pick up the stitches. And then lastly, I did the crochet portion, which is the woven stitch. Now all 3 of these stitches are basic beginner stitches, and I'm combining them, and you can see that's what you get, some texture in there. And that is the first week of the topsy-turvy. Now, in my notebook, week 1, what I'm doing is I'm writing down the 3 techniques, and then I'm putting what stitch I'm using, and then below I put down the pattern. I'm going to try, and if somebody knows how, maybe you can help me, to put on my screen as I'm doing my tutorials the row that I'm doing and what I'm doing, you know, whether it's a knit 1, purl 1, or, you know, single crochet, chain 1, skip 1, single crochet, so you can you know, write it down. I want to do a tutorial on the 3 initial beginnings, because you don't have to do them in the same order as I do. I mean, this is the nice thing about this. This is to get creative. This is the step hashtag outside your comfort zone. But this is just supposed to be a lot of fun, and maybe build your skill set up, and, you know, hopefully I can do the tutorials in such a way that you'll be able to start, you know, pick up the basic knitting. In other words, cast on, knit and purl, and cast off. With Tunisian, do your foundation row, and then do the different stitches, and then your cast off. And of course, crochet, you know, do your chain, and, you know, do your foundation, your first row, and then from there, and then fasten off. So it's probably going to be slow going until I get into a rhythm, but I'm trying to do this every week and have I'd like have I don't know if I'll do it in one tutorial or I'll do 3 short tutorials of cast on for knitting, Tunisian, and then of course your basic base chain, foundation chain for crochet. Week 1 of the topsy-turvy, the stitches are pretty basic. Like I had said, the Tunisian, I'm going to be demonstrating the Tunisian simple stitch, which is one of the basics, one of the very first stitches you learn. In crochet, it is the woven stitch, which only involves single crochet and chains. And then knitting is the seed stitch, which is just knit and purl. So that's what, basically we're going to start. Oh, sorry about that. So that's what, this is pretty much an introductory video to kind of tell you what you need to get along. I'll show you the books I'm using. And the reason I can't reproduce, because these are copyrighted and I cannot, Xerox it, put it up. But I'm using my crochet stitch Bible. I'm using the complete book of crochet stitch designs and 750 knitting stitches, and then my Tunisian one. I only have one Tunisian. I need to get another book on Tunisian crochet. I only have the one book, but it's got a lot of stitches in it. It's Lee George. It's the Crochet Tunisian Stitch Guide, and it gives basic stitches. Now, as I said in the video this morning, I only know 2 stitches in Tunisian, simple stitch and knit stitch. So I'm going to be learning right along with you on this journey for the Tunisian portion of this. And please feel free to put into the comments anything that you're either having trouble with or have questions about. If you've never knit before, don't worry. If you don't feel comfortable doing it, you can skip the knitting portion of this. But if you want to step outside your comfort zone, at least try it. I said most of the stitches that I'm doing, I'm trying to keep to where they're not too complex. I'm not real good at reading charts, and my one crochet book, this one here, is pretty much all charts. As my Tunisian, is all charts. There's no really written instructions, other than it might give you a few, written, but most of it's chart work. So it's going to help me increase my skill at reading charts. Now, if you want to go and get these, I got these pretty much all on Amazon. I got all of these from Amazon. But if you go to like your book, if you Google discount books, there was one that I forget who it was who had said something about. There's a place that you can go. It's a book outlet that you can get even used copies, and to follow along. That's fine. But like I said, I'm going to get with somebody to see how I put text onto my tutorials, and to be able to have it come across the screen what I'm doing in that particular frame. So basically that's all this video is going to be about, and I'm going to try to get ahead on some of these blocks. I'm starting the week 2 block, and just to give you a little bit of a sneak peek, if you want to call it that, sneak peek, I am going to be doing these books weigh a ton. I'm going to be doing block 2, or week 2, is going to be, the knit part is going to be what's called the fleck, F-L-E-C-K stitch, and that's pretty much just knit and purl. The Tunisian part is going to be the Tunisian knit stitch, and the crochet part is simple shells. I'm trying to arrange the block so that it is interesting as far as to look at and not boring. Like this, the second block, I'm starting with the knitting. and then I'm going to do the crochet, and I'm going to end with the Tunisian. With Tunisian and knitting, you have a tendency a lot of times to get curled edges. We'll address that as we get further along in the stitch along. There is no end date on this. There is no deadline on this. It's go at your own pace. I will be making a playlist in my tutorial section, like I had one for the Leisure Arts. I will be having a separate playlist that will say topsyturvytristitchalong, and that'll have its own playlist. So my goal today is to get the tutorials up for the initial cast-ons for all 3 of the techniques, and maybe, if I can, get at least one of the techniques tutorial done, the pattern done, whether it's knitting or, you know, I'm going to try and see, because there's supposed to be a way that I can go live on Facebook and YouTube at the same time, but I can set YouTube as a premiere, and basically I can watch it with you and be able to answer any questions that would come up in the chat. That's something I did learn about. So this is week 1, the beginning. We're going to be slow out of the gate. It's not going to be rushed, because I don't like to be rushed. I do want to give a heads up. Anybody that has been participating in the hashtag outside your comfort zone, hashtag Shaw challenge, please put your pictures up on the Facebook group. Sometime in the next month, I'll give you a heads up when I'm going to do it. I am going to put everybody's name into a book and assign a number, and then I'm going to do a random number generator, and there's going to be a little prize, just a small prize. The prize packages are going to be getting a little bit smaller because of the shipping costs. They seem to be going up, and up. And when I'm spending $50 to $75 every time I send out a couple packages, it takes away money from other stuff. But I still want to send Happy Mail out, so it just might be smaller, different types. Other than that, that's all that's going on. I finished the baby blanket. I didn't get any pictures of it, and I went to the baby shower yesterday. But it turned out nice. My first filet crochet, and I like it, and I will be doing more. I'm putting the border on the Leisure Afghan, because that's going to be a massive blocking challenge to get the columns finally blocked, and I'm going to find myself a quilting rack so I can put it in my bedroom, because the colors match my decor in my bedroom. And I ripped out my botanical tea and recast it on, but I haven't been working too much on everything because I was trying to get that baby blanket done, and now I'm getting into the topsy-turvy try-stitch-along. So we're going to try to get everything organized, get myself on a little bit of a schedule. So put comments below, and any suggestions or questions you have, and I do read all my comments, and I do try to answer all the questions. I hope everybody's healthy, happy, safe, having a good summer, and until next time, remember, hug, smiles, happiness, pass it on, make the world a better place. Saying bye to you now from Deer Island, until next video.